Hey everyone, welcome back to No Measuring, No Apologies. My voice might seem a little off, and I can't hear very well. I'm just getting over bronchitis apparently, and I do not wish that on my worst enemy. It sucks. But I'm going to show you today how to make a really good, really quick soup. You don't need a stock pot. You don't need to sit and watch it. Nothing. You just need to cut your stuff up, throw it in a roasting pan, and put it in the oven. So I've got a couple of carrots here, so I'm just gonna rough chop them. I don't peel them. I don't see any need to do that. There's a lot of nutrients right under the skin. So I'm just gonna throw them in. I already put my water in there because I didn't think that you guys would want to watch me filling up a pot of water. So you just take them and rough chop them. Honestly, this soup takes, like, with prep wise, maybe 5 minutes. So I'm probably going to be using a couple of things that you guys might have heard of, might not have heard of, but I'll tell you about them when I get to them. So that was just 3 rough chopped carrots. All right. You'll take some onion, let some onion in there. This is actually a really healthy soup. My kids love soup, but they hate the veggies in soup. So I make a stock that's very healthy and rich with vitamins and everything from the veggies. And then I strain all the stock out, I strain the stock and strain all the veggies out, and debone the chicken and everything. And just for the soup, all I do is put the chicken back into the stock and some noodles, and my kids absolutely love it. There's no complaining, no nothing. Ew, mine has carrots in it. Ew, mine has celery in it. Oh, there's onions in here. Get lost, kids. So they're getting their nutrition this way. Yeah, so I've been sick for a while. There hasn't really been any videos because I was too sick, and it has really sucked. And but you know what? It made me think a lot. When I was younger, I remember adults always saying, "Oh, it really sucks getting old," and blah blah blah. And I'm thinking, how can it suck getting old, you know? Like, you're just the same, whatever. But you know what? This stuff really does suck when you get older. You don't bounce back as quick. Dad, you were right. It does suck getting old. So, I hear ya. And I'm not as old as you are, but I'm as old as you once were. So, and that's when you were saying that getting old sucks. So, now I can say it too. But yeah, you just don't seem to bounce back as quick, or, you know, it's, oh God. So, but I'm on the mend and starting to feel a lot better, a little bit every day. So that's really starting to pick up. First time I've been dressed in probably over 2 weeks. There was a point there where I couldn't eat because my coughing was so bad. And I lost over 10 pounds. So, all right, so my onions and my carrots are in the water. I am going to use lovage. Lovage is actually something that I grow in my garden. It smells a lot like celery, and in European cooking, they use it a lot more than what we do here, and they use it as celery. So I dry mine out from my garden. It looks like that, and I just crush it up and put it in whatever I'm making, and that is my celery. And to be quite honest with you, it tastes a lot better than celery, so it's actually really good. And with this recipe, you don't need to worry about defrosting chicken. I literally just pulled this out from the freezer. I try and get everything that I have while it's on sale, and I've done so good at that I have freezers full of stuff. So from now on, my goal is just to try and make things that are in my freezer and see what I can do. So you just peel that off, stuck a little bit, make sure all this shit is off of there. You don't want that in your soup. That's just a little bit of the container that has stuck to it. So hopefully I can just, yeah, I can just cut it off. Not a big deal. Scrape it off a little bit. And make sure you get all of the backing paper off of it, because sometimes that sticks too. So, but this is good. So you literally just take your frozen chicken, frozen as anything, and you stick it in. That's it. All right. So now just give me a second while I wash my hands. Wash my hands off a little bit. All right. You take, sorry if you ever see dog hair around here. I have 2 huge dogs, and that's just the way it goes. People who have dogs will understand. So I'll take some sage, put some sage in, just sprinkle it right in. All right. Poultry seasoning. Take your poultry seasoning, put it right in. Okay. Garlic. I put garlic in almost everything. So a ton of garlic. Garlic is extremely good for you. So, and it just tastes good. So the other thing that I'm going to be using that probably some of you haven't heard of, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, and I'm sorry if I start coughing. It's called Vegeta or Vegeta. I think it's Vegeta, but it's like a European seasoning blend. So I'm just going to take some of that and put it in. It's got like little dehydrated vegetables and stuff like that in. So I've put 3 pinches in. Do not put salt in with this. Okay, this has a lot of salt in it. There's actually no MSG in it, so that's a good thing. And then take your pepper, and instead of grinding your pepper all up, if I can get this off, there we go. You just take your full peppercorns and put some in. I'm putting that much in. Sprinkle them around. All right. And that, my friends, is how you make soup. Just put it in the oven. I'm probably going to leave it in there for 4 or 5 hours. Top up the water if it needs to be topped up. You can see that the water I put in here comes almost to the top. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you when I pull it out of the oven. Actually, I did forget one thing. Very important. You need to put some bay leaves in there. So I take, how many do I have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4 good sized bay leaves. And you just put them in. All right. Just kind of press them down a little bit. All right. And then it goes in the oven. Hey everyone. So it's been about 4.5 hours, something like that. And I'm just gonna pull out of the oven now. Woo! Steam bath. The chicken soup. So this is what it looks like. Okay. And you'll see that it's reduced by quite a bit. So we're not gonna waste a lot of time here. All we'll do is I have a small stock pot and a colander, and we are just going to dump this right in here, and do it slowly so that you don't end up with a mess all over the place. And this is literally, you just saw me pull it out of the oven. Take this off, Let it drain through. It'll drain all the onions and stuff that were in the stock when I poured it out. And I will show you exactly what my stock looks like. Beautiful stock. So now I will just let this cool down a little bit, and then I will pull the chicken off of the bones. I'm just separating the chicken now. I'm actually just going to put it in the colander so that it can cool down a little faster, and it is literally falling apart. So basically you've half roasted, half poached this chicken. So it is extremely, like, it's fall apart. I'll just show you here, right here. It's literally falling apart. So you get whatever you can from this and put it in the colander. And you will just leave this in here to cool down a little bit, because if you don't, you're totally gonna burn yourself. So I will just let this cool here for a little bit and then pull off the meat from the bones from my soup. I've let the chicken cool down a little bit, and as you can see, it's literally falling apart in my hands. So you just take the chicken, make sure there's no skin or anything left on it, because it's kind of yucky in the soup. And just break it up, make sure there's no bones or anything left in it. This is why I like to do it this way. I do make a traditional stock as well with the bones and everything. Like if I have a turkey or I've roasted a chicken or something like that, I will take the bones and all the skin and everything and make a stock out of that. But it's so much easier this way. All you do is roast it in the pan. There's no fishing through the stock for the bones or anything like that. And because I have done it this way, I do enjoy having the veg in my soup. So I can just pull out the carrots, which I've done here, and I will just add them to my soup. They will have a wonderful flavor because they've been cooked in with the stock and stuff. So this will just take me a minute to do. I'd like to take a couple of minutes too to thank everyone for watching my videos and liking them and making comments and stuff. I do appreciate the support. I'm not really looking to get rich or anything off of this. I just feel it's important for people to know that everything doesn't need to be perfect. Everything, you know, you do you. And I'll show you the way I do me. And maybe it'll give you some ideas that, you know, everything doesn't need to be perfect. I tried to be perfect for a long time, and it doesn't get you anything. It doesn't show your authentic self. I didn't learn until after I was divorced what I really liked and what really interested in me and my whole personality. I was too busy trying to be what my husband wanted me to be. I mean, it was me as well, but there was restrictions on it because, you know, I couldn't always say what I wanted to say, couldn't always do what I wanted to do. You know, there was sometimes repercussions if things weren't said properly, or I was constantly watching my words, and you know what, that's no way to live. And I didn't want my boys to grow up in a house like that. So, you know, I'm trying to teach my boys that it's very important to have your own likes and, you know, your own interests, and, you know, spend time with yourself, because it's very important to know yourself. You don't want to get lost in everything. That's that's when the problems start. When you start, I'm not saying don't compromise with anyone ever, but don't compromise on your authentic self. That's when problems start. And you know, I always, like, if I ever got into a relationship with anybody, I always ended up, you know, doing what they wanted to do, and, you know, liking what they wanted to like, and everything like that. And I'm just not cut out for that. I need to love myself. I need to do what I like to do, you know, make my boys number one, which I have done. And you know, it was hard at first, but now that I've done it, I don't want to be in a relationship with anybody. I enjoy being by myself and with my boys, and, you know, not having anyone to wonder what I'm doing all the time, and, you know, always trying to say the right thing or dress the right way, or, you know, have dinner on the table at a certain time. And, you know, it's not for me. I will never get into another relationship like that. My dad always says never say never, but you know what, as of right now, the way I feel, not interested. I prefer my solitude. I love my own company. I love being myself. You know, there might be a little you know, how do I say this? Actually, I'm just gonna say it because I don't care. There might be a little witchy side to me. I'm not saying I'm a witch or anything, but, you know, I really enjoy being a woman and being my own woman, and, you know, just seeing the magic in everything, and, you know, learning to love what I really love, and not pressing that aside for anyone. And, you know, just, I gotta be who I am, and I won't ever let anyone take that away from me again, you know. So it's just gotta do what you gotta do, right? It took me 50 years, well, 40 years actually, to learn that I didn't need a man in my life, and I actually prefer being without a partner. And you know, I don't even know how I got talking about this, but, you know, I said I would be open, I said I would be honest, and here I am. So I have found out what I enjoy. So once you find those things, don't let them go. You know, just, I don't want an extraordinary life. I've never wanted an extraordinary life. I want a happy life. And I'm making myself happy. And there's my Charlie. So, but anyways, this chicken is almost done. So basically all that's left is the bones. And there we go. So for everyone who has sent me messages saying, you know, they'd like to get to know me, and you know, asking if I'm single and stuff like that, I appreciate the interest, but I'm not here for that. I'm not into that. I'm not looking for that. I'm not going to do that. So if you want to come along and listen to me talk, and, you know, watch me make simple meals and stuff like that, you're more than welcome to. But I'm not looking for a relationship. Sorry. I've got two very interested puppies right here with me, That's my Lucy. Charlie just moved, but he was standing right there too. But anyways, so the next step in this is I've got all my chicken into my stock. I will put the burner onto about 6 and get this simmering. And then what I do is I add these noodles. They are traditional German egg pasta, and they're just little tiny noodles. I'll show you here. They're like, they're just perfect for the soup. So they're like literally that big. So once this starts to simmer, I will, actually I'm just going to put them in now because they're just going to soak up some of the liquid and they're going to cook anyways. It's still hot. So I'll just put these in. And I actually get these at a European store. I don't know if you can get them at regular grocery stores or anything like that. A lot of the food I use, or ingredients I use, comes from like different stores, like European stores and stuff. I just prefer it. You know, it makes it taste really good. So I will probably end up adding some water to this soup because it's going to soak up a lot with the noodles, and it will be more of like a noodle and chicken kind of stew, I guess. So I will just bring this to a simmer and I will show you how that turns out. Alright, so this soup has been simmering for about 10 minutes and it's good to go now. So I will just plate some up, bowl some up, show you what it's like. I wish I could tell you what it tastes like, but I have no idea. I have no taste. So, but my son tasted it and he said it was really good. So here we go. Here's the soup. Nice, delicious, homemade, and hardly took any time at all. So please try it. It's worth it. And really, you can put whatever you want in it. Make it your own. This is how I do it. That doesn't mean that's how you have to do it. So apparently Charlie wants to try it. So, but anyways, have a great night, everyone. And I will see you later. Bye.